She was born into power, but died trapped in darkness. To the world, she was a noble woman of unimaginable wealth. But behind the walls of her castle, something horrifying unfolded, something so monstrous, so unspeakable, that even centuries later, the earth refuses to forget the screams buried beneath it. They called her the Blood Countess. They said she tortured young girls. They said she bathed in their blood. They said her castle was cursed by the souls she destroyed. But was she a monster? Or was she the victim of a political conspiracy, designed to erase her, while hiding the sins of others? This is the story of Elizabeth Bathory, the woman history remembers as a vampire, a murderer, a legend drenched in blood, a woman whose fate reveals the darkest corners of the human heart and the brutal price of power. She was born in 1560 to one of the most powerful families in the Kingdom of Hungary. Her relatives were kings, governors, warlords. From birth, Elizabeth was surrounded by violence. Her childhood was filled with executions, torture of servants, political corruption, and the cruelty of a world built on fear. Some say she learned darkness. Others say she inherited it. But even as a child, there were whispers. A young girl who watched pain without flinching. A girl who found fascination in fear. A girl who believed power meant control over life and death. Yet no one knew how far that belief would take her. Elizabeth was married at age 15 to a powerful nobleman. They moved into Cactus Castle, a stone fortress perched on a desolate hill, surrounded by forests so thick that even daylight struggled to enter. Inside the cold stone walls, Elizabeth lived alone for long periods. Her husband was often away at war, leaving her with servants who feared her every breath. But something else lived inside the castle, something dark. Servants spoke of strange screams at night, locked rooms no one could enter, and Elizabeth wandering the halls, with a candle in one hand and a dagger in the other. They claimed the castle itself drank the blood of the innocent. But fear can create stories, and sometimes stories hide the truth. It started with one servant girl. No one knows what happened that night. Some say Elizabeth found her asleep on duty. Others say the girl talked back. But by morning, the girl was dead. Elizabeth claimed it was an accident. Her servants did not believe her, because the girl's body was covered in wounds. After that night, no one dared cross their mistress again, and Elizabeth learned something. Fear was a powerful weapon, and no one, not even a king, could punish a noble woman of her status. She had tasted the thrill of control, and she wanted more. Rumors spread like wildfire. Elizabeth built hidden chambers inside her castle, windowless torture rooms, stone basins that collected blood, wooden frames designed to restrain victims, chains bolted into walls. Some claimed she kept journals, detailing every act she committed. Others whispered she believed blood could preserve her youth. But no one dared investigate, because Elizabeth was untouchable. For now, villages surrounding the castle began to notice something terrifying. Their daughters went missing. Young maidens, peasant girls, noble daughters sent for education. They entered the castle, but never came back. Parents begged for justice, but none came. Elizabeth's power protected her. Her name was heavier than their screams. And inside the castle, the walls collected secrets that would one day destroy her. One winter night, a servant girl attempted to escape. She ran through the courtyard, barefoot on snow, leaving a trail of red behind her. Guards caught her, forced her back inside. The next morning, villagers saw smoke rising from the castle. They heard one final scream, and then silence. That night marked the beginning of the Countess's downfall, because a priest saw the girl before she died, and he carried the truth straight to the king. King Matthias II ordered an investigation. Count Georgi Thurzo, a powerful noble and former ally of Elizabeth, was placed in charge. He arrived at Cactus Castle on a freezing night. What he found was worse than any legend. Bodies buried in shallow graves, girls locked in rooms, blood-stained tools, screams echoing through stone corridors, and Elizabeth herself, standing calmly in a crimson-stained gown. Thurzo declared, "In the name of the king, you are under arrest." But she laughed, because she believed no one could punish her. Elizabeth was never given a public trial, not because she was innocent, but because she was too powerful. She spoke. She could expose secrets that would bring down entire noble families. So they silenced her. Her servants were tortured. Some said they confessed under pain. Others said they told the truth. Elizabeth denied everything. But the court already decided her fate. They could not execute royalty. So they did something far worse. They bricked her inside a room, in her own castle. No windows, no doors, only a small slit through which food was passed. She spent 4 years in that stone coffin, alone, dying slowly, listening to the castle that had once obeyed her, now becoming her tomb. She scratched messages on the walls, begged for forgiveness, begged for death. None came. On August 21, 1614, guards found her lying on the floor, cold, still, and silent. The castle finally consumed her. History calls Elizabeth Bathory the most prolific female killer in the world. But the truth is complicated. Was she a monster, or a scapegoat in a political war between powerful families? No one knows. What is known is that Cactus Castle remains haunted by her memory. Visitors report footsteps in locked rooms, faint screams, cold hands touching their skin, and the feeling that someone watches them from the shadows. Elizabeth Bathory became a legend, not because of what she did, but because of what she represents. The darkness that grows when power goes unchallenged, and the horror of a soul lost to madness, fear, and blood.